Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. For those who don't know me, my name is Mark Gallagher. I'm a musician, primarily a ukulele player, however I also do other things with other things that make noise. Now you might have seen videos of mine in the past where I talk about relative pitch. I have relative pitch, it's a bit like perfect pitch, but it's kind of a bit less than, but for sake of this video we're just going to use the terms perfect pitch and relative pitch interchangeably. Now one of the things that comes with relative pitch slash perfect pitch slash that weird thing that I can do in my ears in which I can identify notes, chords and keys by just hearing them, it comes with a few anecdotes and odd stories. Today I want to share with you my 5 perfect pitch problems. Firstly, movies really annoy me. Now I absolutely love films, it's my favourite hobby outside of music, but movies have a really weird relationship with music, particularly movies that have songs in and then also have like a soundtrack CD album that they release. So the general trend I notice is that movies are typically sharper than their CD counterpart, and I'm not sure why. More often than not, if you're watching say a Disney film, then the songs in the film are going to be typically a semitone sharper than that of their CD counterpart, or should I say the film soundtrack is generally a semitone flatter than that in the film. So let's take this example from Frozen. So the song Let It Go, the one which we're all sick of hearing except your little daughter Janet, who's just, she just sings it all the time and it's just, so frustrating, and I wish... I'm sorry, that kind of got away from me there. I absolutely adored this song when I watched it in the cinema, and I noticed that it was in the key of A, and when I wanted to start learning how to play it, I looked for the soundtrack and found out to my shock that it was in the key of A flat. Why? I don't understand. It feels so needless and pointless and I don't quite get it, and I notice this in every Disney film I see. But what's even more frustrating than the film and the soundtrack being slightly different pitches is when films just kind of think that musicians and music rules don't really apply. Enter Shrek 2, and I'm just gonna kind of show up this clip.
C minor, put it in C minor.
That's a G minor, you fucking idiot!
That's right, you think you can just put a G minor there and you can call it a C minor and think no one will notice. Well, I notice. Another instance of this comes in the film Back to the Future, considered by many to be a perfect movie. Wrong. Because in the scene where Marty and his band play Johnny Be Good, he tells the band members that it's a blues riff in B, and then he proceeds to play in B flat. I notice these things, Zemeckis. You think I don't, but I do. The next thing I want to talk about is transposing instruments. Generally, instruments in the brass and woodwind families are transposed, meaning that the notes that are written are different to notes in real life. By this I mean I learned to play alto sax, and the note that they describe as a C and they write as a C and they call it a C is actually an E flat. And on clarinet, which is an instrument I also learned how to play, the note that they call C and that they write as C and they tell you is C is actually a B flat. Why? Who knows? I asked my music teacher and I believe she said that she did a study on why transposing instruments were transposing, and her findings were So what I found myself doing while I was playing these instruments was that I was considering the note being 3 different notes at the same time. So the note F in real life is actually a D on an alto sax, but it's a G on clarinet, and that's just... I had the instance where I was working with a tenor saxophone player and he was tuning to a note and I said, you tuned to that note, and he went, well actually I'm tuning to this note because transposing instruments, and so annoying. When I generally play saxophone, it's something I trip on because I will be playing notes and then I'll sort of hear a thing and I will think about the key I'm in real life in concert pitch, and then I will be trying to finger for that, but forgetting that actually, wait, I'm playing in the key of F and I'm trying to finger the notes in the key of F on sax, but I forget momentarily that sax notes are not real life notes, and it's just, I don't like it. Number 3, talking keys with people. Now you might have seen the video I did with Erica Ignataviciuto where I played This Is the Life by Amy McDonald. You should watch that video with Erica, watch all my videos, send me presents. Before recording this video we went to Costa Coffee to catch up and also talk about our prep for this song. At one point we started talking about what key to sing this song in, we talked about the harmonies that we'd be using, and I remember when Erica started singing a melody for me to kind of work a harmony out too, and she started singing, oh the wind whistles down the cold dark streets at night, to which I pointed out that that melody was actually in A minor and not in C sharp minor, which is the key of the song originally, which is kind of the key which I knew she did it in. So I then reminded her that the original key sounded like, oh the wind whistles down the cold dark streets at night. So then she asked me what it would sort of sound like in the key of C minor, and without tuning to any note, without using any form of reference really, I just started singing, oh the wind whistles down the cold dark streets at night. And I noticed the shock on her face when she was just sort of like, oh my god Mark, did you just sort of like just do that from your head thing? And I was like, yeah, and it's such a cool thing, and it's one of those things I really get a lot of satisfaction out of doing because it's just nice being able to show off, I guess. Number 4, people asking me what key their songs are in. I've had the pleasure of working with one of my best friends, Sam Lyon, on a number of occasions, and one instance was working with her. I was playing piano, and she also had a string duo working with her on a little UK tour she did. And on more than one occasion, she'd send me messages asking like what key and chords her songs were using, and I just thought that was quite adorable. Another instance was when I was working with Kate in a baritone. I played piano on her album Tin Girl. You should listen to that, listen to all the music I worked on, watch all my videos, send me presents. So during one of these days with Kate, I had a conversation with them about track listing, and I mentioned the hashtag pro tip that you shouldn't have 2 songs in the same key next to each other because it sounds a bit too samey. To which they were like, great idea, Mark, I don't know what key my songs are in. So we just kind of sat there and we just kind of like went through each song, and I'd play like a 5-second sample and just be like, yep, that's in G, this one's in C, this one's a bit modal, it uses the chords of E major, however it's mainly like on F sharp minor mainly. So yeah, I think she's still got a sheet somewhere which basically just like lists all the songs and the corresponding keys. And Number 5, making a major scale out of bottles. In 2010, I went on a residential trip with my school's choir and we went to Paris. God, I miss those days. On this trip, everyone ate in the same restaurant and all the kids were doing that trick with a bottle where they blow into the rim of it and it makes a whoo note and you're just like, ah, and it was just a big chorus of these woo notes and they're all about an E, but a really flat E, and it just really annoyed me. I remember one of the music teachers saying jokingly to their colleague, oh, they should try putting bits of water in and making a major scale, and I thought, excellent idea. Over the Christmas holidays, I collected the leftover empty bottles of wine, Southern Comfort and other things from my mother and the rest of our family, and once I had 8 bottles, I filled them up with various bits of water and I made the major scale of B flat, my favourite key. It was so cool, I just gather them all up in a line and I just play somewhere over the rainbow. When January hit, I brought my new musical instrument into school to demonstrate to the music teachers, and I had 2 takeaways from that. 1, the bag was really heavy, and 2, my teachers really judged my mum's drinking habits. I think I might still have a video of me playing on those bottles somewhere. And wait, what's this? We've got a bonus entry? Number 6, remembering the keys of songs that I haven't sung in about 15 years. I was thinking about this one just the other day. I was having a conversation with my sister about a classroom assembly in primary school and the weird hymn songs that we used to sing. One of the examples I brought up to her was the song He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, which I started singing to her. And I started singing it in the key of D, which is the same key as what was sang in primary school about 15 years ago when I was last there. He's got the whole world in his hands, you got. And when I think about it, every song that I used to sing back in primary school, I can remember what key it was in, I can remember how the melody goes in that key, and I can reproduce it as it should be done. And I haven't heard, let alone sung these songs in about 15 years, and I can still remember them. I still remember how they go, the notes that are sung, the key that they're in. And now that I have the musical theory knowledge I have to understand keys, I can now go back and say the song I should just go and eat worms, that song is in the key of G minor. So that's it from me, guys. Those are my hashtag perfect pitch problems. It's been quite fun for me to just sort of talk about this thing that I can do in my ears, and fingers crossed you've enjoyed listening to these little anecdotes of mine. If you like the things I do, be it my covers, my originals, or even these kind of videos, then you can support me by subscribing to my YouTube channel, liking my Facebook page, following me on Instagram. You can also head to patreon.com/markgallaghermusic if you want to help support me further from a financial standpoint. But until next time, my name is Mark Gallagher, and I'll see you guys around. Have a great day.